Your smartphone contains more engineering than entire cities did 100 years ago. It is not just glass, metal, and a battery. It is a stack of materials designed to survive drops, process billions of operations, store energy, move sound, capture light, and connect to the world. Glass protects it. Aluminum shapes it. Silicon thinks inside it. Copper moves signals. Gold keeps tiny contacts reliable. Lithium powers it. Cobalt stabilizes the battery. Graphite stores ions and spreads heat. Rare earths make tiny magnets powerful, and sapphire protects exposed optical parts. A smartphone is not made from one perfect material. It is made from the right material in the right place. Glass. The first material you touch is glass. But smartphone glass is not ordinary window glass. It is usually chemically strengthened glass. During strengthening, the surface of the glass is put under compression. That matters because cracks spread more easily when a material is pulled apart. Compression makes it harder for small scratches and impacts to become cracks. That is why smartphone glass can be thin, clear, smooth, and surprisingly tough. But glass still has a weakness. It is hard, but brittle. It can resist scratches better than many plastics. But if the impact is strong enough, it can still crack. The simple version is this. Smartphone glass is engineered to be clear, thin, and tougher than normal glass. But it is not unbreakable. Aluminum. Aluminum is often used in smartphone frames and bodies. It is light, strong enough for thin structures, easy to machine, and naturally resistant to corrosion. It also helps spread heat. When the chip, battery, or charging system gets warm, the phone needs to move that heat away from small hotspots. Metal frames can help distribute heat across a larger area. But aluminum has trade-offs. It can dent or scratch. And because it conducts electricity, antenna design has to be carefully managed. The simple version is this. Aluminum gives the phone a light, precise structure. It is part of the frame, the design, and the heat path. Silicon. Silicon is the material that lets the phone think. Inside the processor, memory, sensors, and power chips, silicon forms the foundation of modern electronics. Silicon is a semiconductor. That means its ability to conduct electricity can be controlled. Engineers use that property to create transistors. Transistors are tiny switches. A smartphone chip can contain billions of them. Every app, photo, message, calculation, and AI feature depends on those switches turning on and off. The simple version is this. Silicon is the thinking material. It turns electricity into logic. Copper. Copper is the electrical highway inside your phone. It conducts electricity extremely well. It helps move power and signals through chips, circuit boards, charging systems, antennas, and connectors. Copper also conducts heat well, so it can help move heat away from processors and charging circuits. In a smartphone, space is limited. Signals must move quickly. Power must move efficiently. Copper makes that possible. The simple version is this. If silicon is the brain, copper is the wiring that lets the brain talk. Gold. There is gold inside your smartphone. Not a lot, but enough to matter. Gold is used in tiny amounts in electrical contacts, connectors, bonding wires, and specialized electronic interfaces. The reason is not luxury. It is reliability. Gold resists corrosion. It does not easily oxidize. That makes it valuable in places where a tiny electrical contact must keep working for years. Copper and silver conduct well, but they can corrode more easily. Gold is expensive, so manufacturers use it only where it is worth the cost. The simple version is this. Gold keeps tiny electrical contacts reliable. It is not decoration. It is protection against failure. Lithium. Lithium is the key element in most smartphone batteries. It is light, and its ions can move between battery materials during charging and discharging. When you use the phone, lithium ions help produce electrical energy. When you charge the phone, they move back. Lithium is important because it allows a lot of energy to fit into a small, lightweight battery. But lithium-ion batteries need careful control. They do not like too much heat. They do not like overcharging, and they age over time. That is why phones use battery management systems. The simple version is this. Lithium makes compact rechargeable power possible. Without it, modern smartphones would be much heavier or much weaker. Cobalt. Cobalt is often used in lithium-ion battery cathodes. It helps stabilize the battery chemistry and support high energy density. That matters because phones need batteries that are small, light, and powerful. Cobalt helped make high-performance rechargeable electronics possible. But it has serious trade-offs. It is expensive. Its supply chain can be difficult. And mining can raise environmental and ethical concerns. Because of that, battery makers are trying to reduce cobalt use in many designs. The simple version is this. Cobalt helps make high-energy batteries stable. But it comes with cost and supply challenges. Graphite. Graphite is a form of carbon. In smartphone batteries, graphite is commonly used in the anode. Its structure is made of stacked layers. Lithium ions can move between those layers during charging. That makes graphite a useful host for lithium ions. But graphite also helps with heat. Thin graphite sheets can spread heat across the phone. That matters because phones are too thin for large heat sinks. The simple version is this. Graphite stores lithium ions in the battery. And in thin sheets, it helps move heat through the phone. Rare earths. Rare earths help make tiny components powerful. In smartphones, rare earth elements can be used in small magnets, screen materials, polishing compounds, and electronic components. Neodymium is especially important for strong, tiny magnets. Those magnets help make speakers, microphones, vibration motors, and haptic feedback systems small and effective. A phone speaker has almost no space, but it still needs to move air to create sound. Rare earth magnets make that possible. The simple version is this. Rare earths help small parts do powerful jobs. They are one reason phones can be thin, loud, bright, and responsive. Sapphire. Sapphire in smartphones is usually synthetic sapphire. It is made from aluminum oxide crystal. Sapphire is extremely hard and very scratch resistant. That makes it useful for exposed parts like camera lens covers and some sensor windows. A camera cover needs to stay clear. If it scratches easily, image quality gets worse. Sapphire helps protect that optical surface. But sapphire is expensive and can still be brittle. That is why it is used only in small, important areas. The simple version is this. Sapphire is used where scratch resistance matters most. It is not impossible to break, but it is very hard to scratch. Final takeaway. A smartphone is a material system. Glass protects the screen. Aluminum gives structure. Silicon performs logic. Copper moves electricity. Gold protects tiny contacts. Lithium stores energy. Cobalt stabilizes the battery. Graphite stores ions and spreads heat. Rare earths make tiny magnets powerful. Sapphire protects optical surfaces. None of these materials is perfect. Each one has a job. Each one has a trade-off. That is the hidden engineering inside your phone. Not one perfect material. The right material in the right place. So the next time you pick up your smartphone, remember this. You are holding glass, metal, carbon, rare earths, battery chemistry, semiconductor physics, and decades of material science in the palm of your hand.